Hi, hello everyone. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are watching this video. I Today we are going to talk about very interesting thing, and we are going to build end-to-end generative AI based LLM based application without using any chat GPT. Okay. So without getting delay, let me show you the architectural diagram. What are the things we are going to talk about, and then I will show you the practical implementations. And yes, after the as usual, like after the end of this session, I will also share the code snippet. So what we are trying to do, so we are going to build a generative AI based application like a Q&A. So where you can ask the sorry, so Q&A where you can ask the question and you will get the answer. Okay. And at the same time, whatever answer you will get, on that answer user can give the rating. Okay. And this rating we will store inside of our database. And database can be anything. You can use SQL, you can use MySQL, you can use Postgres, whatever database. But for now, we will use SQLite. Okay, so we will use SQLite to store this rating inside of database with respect to question and answer, particular question and answer. So that, and also we will do, and all those things we will perform based on the local LLM. So if I'm talking about the local LLM, means a local LLM in the sense of like you can download the model on-prem model and you can do the inferencing. So whole process we will perform using one soft application which is called Ollama. Again, what is Ollama, how to install Ollama, all those things will be talked in the coming part. So Ollama is basically, is a host like a Docker Hub. What Docker Hub does? Docker Hub may we have a multiple different type of images like Nginx. If we have to install Nginx, so Nginx we have already one system is ready, image is ready inside of Docker Hub. We are just downloading that image and we are running these things. Similarly, inside of Ollama, we have a multiple LLMs like Llama 2, Llama 3, Phi2, Phi3, Mistral. Okay, all the open source LLMs are already available inside of Ollama. We will pull that model and we will run this. We will first pull this model and we will run this. So without getting delay, let me show you the installation part of Ollama. How the agenda is clear. Like what is the agenda? First of all, we will ask the question. Here the question will be there and you will get the answer like how we are doing with the chat GPT. And third, we whatever answer we will get, and based on the question and answer, user can give the rating. And again, it is like a very state of art application. Tomorrow you want to use the same things in your practical projects or whatever projects you are working, you can easily do that. Okay, so that is the agenda. So let me share my screen. So what I will do, first of all, and here just search for Ollama. So here is the option Ollama for Linux, and you can use it for the Windows and Mac operating system as well. So to install this, very simple, we have to copy this command and we have to go inside of our terminal. So this is the terminal where we can paste this and it will install. So if you want to check, I already have installed, so I'm not installing it. So you want to check it. So you can see this is, if you will type the Ollama, you will get this kind of flag, means this Ollama is running. And to run any kind of model inside of your system, you can go to the model card and just see what are the models are available. So Gemma 2, if you want to run the Gemma 2, Llama 2, Quell, and all these things, Phi3. Let's suppose I want to run the Phi3. So what is the command to run the Phi3? So you can see Ollama run Phi3. If I'll copy this command, like in Docker, Docker run Nginx, Docker run hello world, this kind of command we used to, write to run any kind of image. So here also Ollama run Phi3. And I'm asking Ollama run Phi3, it will start running, and it's in my case it is not taking much time because I have already downloaded Phi3. That's what it just started running. Okay, so if I'll ask who is the Prime Minister of India, okay, and so see how fast it is. So as per my knowledge, cut-off date of 2023, the Prime Minister of India is Narendra Modi. Okay, it seems like it's a correct answer. Okay, so it is running, and at any of time, so let's suppose you want to come out, press Control plus D, it will come out from that panel, and you want to check what are the model is already downloaded in your local system. So type here Ollama list. It will give you the current models. You can see in my case, Ollama, sorry, Phi3 latest is there running. And also if you want to see what kind of configuration I am using at my system, so I can show you NVIDIA SMI, and you can see in my case it's around 4 GB GPU. It's a very minimal GPU I'm using right now, not hi-fi configurations kind of thing. And also you can run this Ollama in your CPU as well. So that's a part. Okay, so here you see that I asked who is the Prime Minister of India. It gave the answer. That's totally fine. Now next thing is that what we are going to do, it gave the result. This is through the command line we are executing, but how we can build a complete end-to-end application, right? So for that, what I'm trying to do now, just hold on. I will do one thing. I will go to, so here, if you can see, 1 minute. So here inside of desktop, I have my folder, and what I can do, I will go inside of YouTube, and I will create one folder here called Ollama project, or else you can see Q&A. Q&A means question and answering system. This folder I am just creating here, and this folder has been created. Now what I will do, any kind of ID you can select. I'm selecting my PyCharm because I am very convinced with it. So what I can do, click on this and open. There will be option called open, and here desktop, inside of desktop, I can go YouTube and Q&A, select this, click on OK, trust the project and new window. So this project has been opened. 1 minute. So you can see this project has been opened here. So fine. And this main got automatically created. That is fine. Okay. So first of all, I will do one thing. I will first create some kind of API, okay, so that I can show you. First thing is that we are going to create an API. API in the sense of some fast API, and that API we will integrate with a UI. Okay, so first agenda is we are going to create an API. So before creating the API, we have to create an environment, right? So what you can do, interpreter setting, create a new environment here. Python interpreter environment is just to not to conflict the other application. That's what I'm going to create a new environment called Conda environment. And here I'm going to give the new environment, and I'm giving the environment name as a Q&A system. Okay. And giving the Python version 3.11 is the latest version. So I'm selecting these things, click on OK, and it will create an environment. How to verify the environment has been created or not, I can show you that part. Okay. So let it to be create the environment, and click on apply, click on OK. So environment got created. If you want to check whether your environment got created or not, if you will click on terminal, you can see at the front of your command line, the Q&A system should come. The environment means got created. Also, you can verify here. You can see on my bottom right corner, the environment name came. Okay. So next part is what? We are going to create one file called requirements.txt. Text. So this requirements.txt, what it will do? So inside of this requirement.txt, we are going to keep our all the necessary libraries which we are going to work around it. So far we are going to use fast API to create APIs. And the second thing is the Gradio to build a UI. SQLite 3, as I mentioned, like you can use the Postgres, MySQL, whatever database you want to use, it's on you. It's like just an engineering part. And pedantic is something like typecasting purpose. Okay, so I'm going to install these libraries inside of this environment. So simple, very simple, pip install -r requirement.txt. And okay, what is saying? No matching distribution. Okay. SQLite. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, so if this is the case, then what we can do, go to the Google, very simple, and SQLite PyPy. Let's check it out. SQLite 3. Okay, I think it seems like a something different name, so we can install like this. Okay, so we can do this, no problem. Okay, so we have to give the name called DBSQL3, it seems. Okay, so then only it will work. Okay, so that's the problem. Fine. So I think that is fine. Let's run once again. Now this time it is working. Okay, so let it to be installed. Once it will get installed, then we will jump into our main.py. Okay, so what we can do. So meanwhile it's getting installed, let me import few of the libraries. And I'm going to deprecate completely main.py. It automatically came. And these are the libraries which we have to use. And next is that I'm going to create some helper function to create a DB. So this is the DB creation function, and you can see I'm creating SQLite connect LLM response.db. This DB will get created, and we are going to run one CRUD operation called create a table if not exist, and table name will be response. And what are the column we are going to add? ID, integer, context, question, answer, rating, and timestamp. These are the things we are going to keep inside of this. So this will create my DB, and we have to initialize this function. So we need DB, it will get initialized. Now, okay, so if I will run this code, let me run this code. So if I will run this code, yeah. So it ran successfully, and at the same time, you can see the DB has been created, right? And this is fine, up to there, no problem. Now I'm going to create one fast API. Okay, so very simple fast API creation is straightforward. So I'm just creating the object of fast API, and I'm going to create a few pedantic class. Pedantic class is like a two API we are going to express. Number one, generate the response through the LLM. Number two, after generating the response, insert the ratings, right? So two things. So for generation purpose, this is the class called generate request. And here in case generating the request, like generating the response, if you are going to ask the question with the LLM, the two things we need. Number one, question, and number two, what kind of model you are going to use. In my case, it should be Phi3. It should be Phi3, not Llama 3. So Phi3 latest and user question. And context is something like on which around you are going to ask. Let's suppose, so LLM will be more constrained towards it. Like let's suppose you want to ask a question with respect to politics or cricket or sports or movies kind of thing. So context is that one. Okay, so that the question will be so LLM will look around that. Okay, so that's what context. So similarly, rating request. So once the response you got with this LLM, that response we are going to pass in this, and also we are going to give the rating in the form of the integer, like 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's a simple. And now next is what? Uh, so we are going to create one function called generate response. Okay. So I'm going to create one function called this is the function called generate response, and here I'm going to add few things called context. Context is something, so context will come from the request. From the request body, we are going to pass three things, and request dot context, and question also we are going to ask context request dot user question. This is the things. The two parameter will come like a full context, and then I'm also adding logger so that we can log these things. Logger is something like a print statement. So, but only difference is that it's a thread safe. So this is the full context, and also in our case, the model is running on Ollama, right? So Ollama is by default is running at 11434. Okay. So this is the Ollama API URL. Okay. And here we can pass the model, what model we are, and we are going to create a payload. Simple. So this is the payload. This is the payload and request.model. Model may you can give the any model, but whatever model is running in your system. In my system, it is running Phi3. You can use the Llama 3 as well. The model name. Prompt means this complete full context. And option, it's like if you are familiar with the chat GPT, there is a top P, top K, okay, this kind of thing, temperature, all those things is there. And stream false means like it will give the response in at one shot. So it will not do the streaming. Okay, so that's a part. Now we will get the response with this payload. We will calculate get the response, and this response dot post API URL and payload we are going to pass. Okay, so once this is done, now we are going to get the response, right? And it's a very simple. We can go answer. So you can see if response status code is 200, we are just getting the JSON and we are getting the answer. So generated response dot get, and inside of that response key will come. So here we will get the response, right? That up to there should be no doubt. Now I'm going to return this response as well. So yeah, I'm going to return this response. So that's fine. Now let me run this. Okay, if it will run, let me run this application and we'll see, right? So to run this fast API, you can use the UV con. So I'm just running this application. So if name equal to main and UV con and run, and it will run at 8,000 port. So let me run this application, or else I will do the debugging. Wait, I can show you the debugging skills as well. So put a debugger and run this debugging, and 1 minute. So this application got started, right? So what I can do, I will copy this and we can go to our Google, any browser, and type here docs. Okay, so your API generated. So now click on this and I will try it out. So context, I can set here politics, and question I can pass here. Who is the same question, right? Prime Minister of India. Okay, who is the Prime Minister of India? Then let me check it out and see it came here and it stopped here. And if I'll see this, step over, and if I'll do this, and you can see context politics and question who is the Prime Minister of India, right? And we are just doing the logging here and API URL. These are the things we'll go, and this is hitting the API now. Okay, this is getting hit the API. So yeah, you can see API status code is 200, and if I will check it out, this part generated response, you can see the context, how much what are the context is there, and also we can see inside of this response. Can you see this? Inside of this response we have a response key, right? And that response key we are just fetching from here and we are getting the answer. So this answer we will return it out. And if you will go to the browser and you can check it out, as my latest update, last update of the early 2023, Prime Minister of India is Narendra Modi. And if I will show you this terminal output, and the terminal output was also same thing. That's pretty good, right? That's a pretty good. And also this is the API, right? You can run from anywhere, right? So if I will copy this curl and if I'll go to terminal, and let me clear this terminal. And if I'll paste it here, if I'll hit, see, it came hit here, right? And if I'll run this, and you can see, it will give you the output here only. So see, it gave the response. That's pretty good, right? Through API. Also, you want to do the same thing through Postman. Yes, you can run through the Postman as well. Let me show you through the Postman as well. So my Postman is running. So meanwhile, okay, yeah, it ran. So this is the Postman. Yeah. So let's do the sign up. Okay, so there is some problem at my Postman, I think so. But anyways, let me show you the call the API, and I'm pasting the same curl here, and it will get imported. And you can see in the body section, we have this, all those things, and I will send it out here. And this again came here because we added a debugger, and you can see it is hitting the API and you can see the response. That's good, right? Now, next question is that you got the response, and as I mentioned, we have to store this response inside of our DB, right? So how can we do that? So come to again code, and we got this answer, right? We got this answer. Now afterwards, we have to store these things inside of our database. That is the things we are going to perform now, right? So simple, we got the answer. First of all, we have to we have to call our database. What is the database name? Responses, response, okay, response.db. This is the db, this is the db, right? This is the db. And then we have to create our cursor object. Okay, so cursor object we are going to create. So here is the cursor object. We created our cursor object. Now we will execute this query. Okay. And then commit and close the same thing. So command B cursor executed, insert into response is the table name. And if you'll see, we created already the table called responses, right? So responses table may, it will insert this data. Okay. And it will commit, it will close. That's fine. Now, what I will do, I will rerun this application once again, and I wanted to show you few things. Okay, let me rerun this application, and this application ran. And what I can do, let's go to again the same and execute this. And this time I wanted to show you few things. Okay, so it ran. It ran. I think yes, it ran. And if you can go to this response DB, if I'll open, you might not able to see the data, right? It's not correct format. It's a DB format, right? Binary file. So to visualize this data, to see this data, what you can do, you can install one application called dbeaver. Okay, I am showing you 1 minute. Let it to be open. Okay, so dbeaver. This is the dbeaver, and close this, and 1 minute. Close this. And I just wanted to show you what I can do. I will connect this database. In our case, it's SQLite, right? This is the SQLite. And here we have to navigate ourselves to where is our database inside of desktop. And inside of these, we have a YouTube, and inside of Q&A system, and we have this data. Okay. And we'll see the test connection, download this. Okay, so it will download some driver to load this data, and it got connected. Okay, and click on finish. Okay, so now if I wanted to show you this thing, table, we have table, right? If you wanted to see the view table, and you can see data, and inside of this data, we have a context, question, answer, but we don't have ratings right now, right? So far, we don't have the ratings because we have not given the rating. So we have to expose an API, because after the response, we have to expose an API, right? So yeah, so we have to expose an API to give the rating, and then we will create a full-fledged application by integration of this API, right? So I think this is much for the this video. In next video, I will show you the next API, and also the full-fledged application with integration of this API. So till the time, thank you guys. We'll show you the next video, the another API, right? So thank you.